Are you wondering why there are no interesting videos on EOS here on YouTube? That's because of this chart here. So this chart shows EOS actually. It's not the typical chart you usually see, right? Typically, you see something like this. You see this, right? You see a sideways trading range. Sometimes we are high, sometimes we are low. Maybe you see this on a linear scale. So you see something like this. But this here is also an EOS chart. And it's the reason why nobody talks about it. This is the relative performance of EOS to Ethereum. And Ethereum and EOS, they're pretty much direct competitors to one another, right? And this is a very long-term chart. So this movement since April of 2019, it shows an almost 98% underperformance of EOS. And that's the problem, right? When you've got this very bearish momentum, it's very hard to recommend a long-term buying and holding strategy for EOS. That being said, there are these massive spikes, right? There are these really, really interesting rallies over here where we go up by 5x and where then, if we sell this right, can avoid potentially a drawdown of more than 80%. So we have to time this market. And one way to do this is with moving averages. And this is what I've backtested. So we can actually outperform this quite a bit. So let me show you this. The fundamental idea is that we want to be in the market whenever the price is above the moving average. So let's just take a very long-term duration moving average here. We want to be in the market when the price tends to appreciate like this. And we want to be outside of the market when the price tends to depreciate like over here. We can already see with these few comparisons here that this is probably a moving average that's too slow. So when we go, say, for a 25-day moving average, we are now much more reactive, right? We would be selling here at this point in time and we would avoid way more of a drawdown. So we can time the market for EOS. We can outperform just buying and holding the token, which would have not resulted in a very great experience. And the question is always, what's the best moving average to take? So let's run quickly this macro over here. You can download this Excel sheet at thebitcoinstrategy.com here. So the link is in the video description. It's also shown here at the bottom of the video. So we can run a backtest, a simulation of buying and selling using all of EOS's data. So this starts in the 1st of July 2017. And when we do this, we see, okay, buying and holding would have been relatively poor, 13% per annum. But if we time this to a certain degree, we can have quite a bit of outperformance. So look at this. The 11-day simple moving average would have given us 240% per annum. We can also look at the exponential moving averages. So over here, we've got the 38-day. That would have given us 176% per annum. So what is this simulating? This is starting with 10,000 US, an exchange trading fee of 0.1%. So that's the Binance trading fees. And then we do two things, right? When the price is above the moving average, then we buy. When the price closes the day below the moving average, then we bet on falling prices. So we're not outside of the market. We are either betting on rising or on falling prices. And we've got our trading fee here. And when we look at this in form of a chart, this is actually what we can see. So on the x-axis, we've got the duration of the moving average in days, right? Starting from 1 day, which is just looking at yesterday's price, all the way to 52 days, right? So more than 1.5 months of a moving average duration. And the best simple moving average is the 11-day. The best exponential moving average is the 38. And on the y-axis, by the way, we've got the annualized performance, right? So this is not the performance from beginning to end of trading period. This is the performance every year compounded. And so let's look at this. Let's look at the 11-day simple moving average and the 38-day exponential moving average. And let's look at actually how did the trading perform. So this is now the simple moving average. In white, we see EOS. So EOS went pretty much sideways and the 11-day simple moving average did perform really well, now at almost an all-time high. This is the same chart on a logarithmic scale, right? So this is 500K from one another. This is a 10x from one another. So we can see how the outperformance is pretty constant, right? These two lines, they are diverging pretty constantly. And even though there are quite a lot of trades involved here, right? The 11-day simple moving average implies quite a lot of trades. And even though there are a lot of fees here, we can still see this seems to work pretty well. Now, trading according to the moving averages tends to work pretty good for a lot of cryptocurrencies. And very often we see this, that the SMA, so the simple moving average, actually outperforms the exponential moving average. Now, when we look at this here in the price data, let's change this actually to the 11-day. So this is what we are currently looking at. We would have bought on the 11th of March of this year, and then we would have sold here on the 5th of April. Now, what's important to note here is that we don't care about how the price moves within the day. So we ignore the intraday volatility. We don't care that just within the day we temporarily went below this. We only look at the price at midnight UTC. And based on that, we decide, are we going to buy and bet on rising prices? Or are we going to sell and bet on falling prices? And right now, in the current situation, we would be betting on falling prices. When will this turn around? Nobody knows, right? This is simply just a back test. We would be flexible. If we just trade sideways for a while, after a certain period of time, we will cross that moving average again. But we can see there is quite a bit of trading happening, right? So sometimes we buy, sometimes we sell, then we buy again. Quite a bit of activity. So this performance does need a bit of work, or alternatively, some kind of automation with a trading bot, right? You could also do that. Now, I've backtested quite a few moving averages actually. So it's pretty hard to monitor all of those assets, right? All of the interesting assets. So I've created a premium Telegram channel where we can simply automatically look at whenever the interesting altcoins over here cross their respective most important moving averages. So if you're interested in that, that's also reserved for the premium members. If there's an asset that's not yet in the alerts channel that you would like to get alerts for a backtest for what's the best moving average, feel free to simply request this here in the premium chat. You might also consider checking out the exclusive content, right? Tutorials on how to run these backtests. You might want to look at the statistics library where you can download all of those Excel sheets. There's even a technical analysis course where you can learn about different technical indicators and how they work, what kind of experiences I've made here with several backtests. So this is what we are looking at. It's currently $49 US per month. If you decide to sign up yearly, it will be $490, as in you will get 2 months for free. And so summing this up for EOS, when we look at the EOS price, we really want to be timing the market with the 11-day simple moving average or the 38-day exponential moving average. We are currently bearish. Just buying and holding this over the long term is probably not the best unless you have very strong fundamental conviction here, right? If it's not just technicals, but if you've got a fundamental reason, then by all means, feel free to bet against the masses. But the market so far is speaking that EOS has a hard time outperforming. Thus, what you really want to do is you really want to avoid the token during bearish times, and currently, unfortunately, it does look comparatively bearish. Now, besides all that paid content, I of course still publish videos here on YouTube regularly. So if you found the content here useful, don't forget to subscribe. There's not just videos on altcoins, but I also do regular reviews on Bitcoin, on the general crypto market. And of course, there are several discussions on various strategies. How well does a particular indicator work for a particular approach? And so if you're interested what's currently going on with Bitcoin, what does the on-chain data say? Are we more likely in the grand scheme of things to go up or down from here? If that's your type of content, then don't miss out this video over here. It's got a lot of value as well. See you in that video, and thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.